Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the world's premier British countryside simulator. Yes, it is, of course, Sir, you are being hunted, or Madam, you are being hunted. You might be wondering why I call it the world's premier British countryside simulator, because everything I have heard about Britain is that the countryside is beautiful, gorgeous even, but the rain is ever frequent and it is rather gloomy and gray feeling. So that is what this game gives me. Also, in Top Gear, it's always like that, it seems. So those are my two very valid sources of where I decide that this game is the premier British countryside simulator. And as such, we should look at it. So you might be wondering, what is this game? Well, I will tell you, it is very interesting. That is what it is. It is a world where you are being hunted by robots, and you are tasked with finding pieces of a device that you created that has unfortunately exploded. Yeah. Now, there's not a lot of explanation other than that, and that's okay. We're going to jump into the game here in a moment, and we'll talk about it. So, the first thing you'll see here is you get to choose your profession, and there are several: the aristocrat, the gamekeeper, the inventor, the officer, the cook, the artist, the old soak, and we go back to the aristocrat. This is sort of like your difficulty. As you can see, easy, and it's based on their starting equipment, what you start with. And I assure you, this game is very difficult. So when you first jump into the game, start with maybe start with an easier class, because it is very difficult to find weapons in this game, especially guns, like the officer starts with. And that is terrifying. This game is part first-person shooter, part action-adventure exploration game, part horrifying. And I'm talking Texas Chainsaw Massacre in real life horrifying. Okay, that's maybe a little harsh, but I assure you, when you hear these robots coming for you, it suddenly turns into a desperate situation. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to show you the officer. The next thing you'll see here is the world generation. You get to decide what each island is. Now, the center island is always selected for you. That's the one you start on. And it's usually rural. However, you can, of course, change the other ones. You have industry, fens, castle, and you have one more, which is mountain. Ironically enough, it came right there. You can also edit the robots you're going to be seeing. Now, in any gameplay, any game that you play, the longer you survive, the more likely you are to see these robots. And it also determines how much you're going to see of them. So, the riders, if you make it to, 150 minutes, or you've managed to return 13 pieces of the device, you're going to start seeing a small percentage of these. However, if you want a tougher game, you can, of course, knock it up a notch. Now, you just have to click. Unfortunately, you aren't able to just, select, which is a little unfortunate. You have to click 4 times, a 5th time clears it, and then back to where we started there. But that's okay. You can also do balloons, landowner, which I don't really know what landowner is, and it doesn't really give you a clear indicator. They all sort of become landowners at this point. I don't know. Again, I don't know what that means. However, here's what I can tell you, is that balloons are terrifying as well. They float around, they hover with spotlights, they come to get you. It's fine. We're going to save. I'm, as usual, dreadful at this game, so I'm not going to worry about demonstrating on a higher difficulty, obviously why I selected the officer. We're going to go ahead and build, and that is one, I guess it's not even an issue. The initial building of the game world, since it is randomly generated, takes maybe 3 to 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video, and we will jump in when the narrator jumps and starts telling us all about what has happened.
Sir, if you can hear this, then the experiment has gone terribly wrong. I fear you may be trapped on the archipelago, but don't panic. The standing stones should be nearby. With them, and some luck, you may still be able to escape. Listen very carefully, and you might just survive. I am afraid pieces of the device are now scattered across the islands. They became quite hot during the experiment, so perhaps you could look for the smoke. Bring any you find back to the standing stones, then we should be able to get you home. I'm dreadfully sorry, sir, but this does mean postponing dinner preparations. I do hope you remember to eat something. You must try to keep your strength up. Perhaps some tea and biscuits from one of the nearby houses? The residents won't mind because they're not at home. Oh, and do be careful, sir. You're being hunted.
Ooh, doesn't that just give you an eerie feel? Perhaps it's just me, but I am dreadfully terrified. The narrator, he does such a good job. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. He does a great job really sort of instilling this sense of fear into you about what's going on. Now, you'll probably notice that there wasn't a whole lot going on as far as description. You just know that the neighbors are probably not going to mind because they're not about, and you learn that... What else do you really learn? That's pretty much it, and you're being hunted by what is apparently robots, since this chap or gent is a robot, quite clearly. You also learn that you can kind of see where these device pieces are based on the white smoke that they put off. Now, that is relatively difficult to see in most cases. You're just going to have to roam around. There is an item you can find that actually increases your likelihood of finding it. It is a scanner device that allows you to, if you're within range, detect where those pieces are. With that device, I will note, it does make a lot of noise and the robots can hear it, and it also very easily distracts you because you're so focused on finding that piece that you're not paying attention to where the robots are. So it can get you into a bit of trouble. Now let's talk about the inventory screen here. Inventory management is pretty good. I do wish that you could just click on an item and it would equip to the hotbar whatever was available, but you can right-click on it to select which spot to equip it to. You can also drag it and place it there. Let's see. The one thing I do take a little issue with is that, see here, empty bottles, great for distracting robots. I only have one. After I throw this bottle, it will no longer be in my inventory, but the hotbar action stays there. I see the reason it stays there. In case I find more bottles, then I already have it selected. But I kind of wish it would go away, because you can use the scroll wheel to very easily scroll through the items, and it stays on there even when you don't have any ammo, so it takes longer to scroll through things. Minor complaint, just a little baby hassle. Oh my, you can already see there's a robot over there. A reboot. Alright, so we are gonna run over here. This is your hub, basically, to put it simply. You are going to want to make sure you indicate where this is on your map. You're going to be dropping these pieces into this little area here. You can, of course, save your progress. This is not a roguelike, which is very popular these days. And originally, when I picked up this game, I definitely thought it was. But you can save. We're going to go ahead and crouch here, kind of dip out of visibility. So that is one thing. Let me make another comment of, inventory is very limited, and you need to be careful about holding too much, because as you can see, that piece was quite large and took up 4 by 4. Now that is the largest piece of the device you're going to find, but there are several pieces like that that are equally sized. Oh my, that robot is dreadfully close. In the corner there, you'll see my visibility meter. You'll also see my health and vitality. Vitality is, of course, in order to raise vitality, you have to eat things. And in order to have your health restore, your vitality has to be high. The higher your vitality, the quicker your health restores. And we're going to try to drop this guy. Oh boy, this is a bad idea. So we're going to switch over to our rifle, because while very limited in ammo, the rifle usually kills robots in one shot, and I would prefer to do that because of the noise that guns make in this game. You'll notice that the model of the gun doesn't look too shabby. We're moving through this grass quite nicely. A little bit of bippity boppity booing. Alright, so we are quite invisible here. Alright, there he is. Oh man, we are gonna snipe him from such a distance. Wait till you see this 360 no scope headshot that I'm about to do on this robot. Probably not actually. Boom. Alright, he doesn't quite know where we are. He's looking. Take the shot. Oh, you know what? I realize now why I can't shoot, because I have to reload. Alright, and boom. Are you kidding me? I missed again? Oh, he definitely knows where we are. Alright, he's taking shots at us here. Duck in the trees. Boom. Alright, he's down. There are 2 more robots coming for us. That is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Oh boy, okay. Let's see if we can take these guys down. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, it seems like it would be fairly easy to get a gun. You kill one of these robots, and you just pick up their gun. Nope, not the case. You cannot do that. Oh, he knows where I am. He definitely knows where I am. Oh, they're shooting at me. This is bad. This is bad. Alright. Ooh, I think I got him. Put him down. Oh my, I think there might be another one over there. Oh my goodness, there is. Oh, it's getting dark as well. Oh, we are in dire situation here. Alright, we're going to switch over to our pistol. Oh, we're bleeding now. That's great. Bleeding is not ideal. So quickly use the bandages so we don't bleed to death. Okay. They've spotted me. They killed me. So if you're better at this game, it's much more difficult to die. If you're dreadful at it, then it's very easy to die. As such, as you can see. So, boy, alright. Back to it. Okay. Here we are. Goodness gracious. Now, you might be wondering, what is compelling about this game? The compelling nature of this game is the exploration. You get to explore this very strange, very post-apocalyptic world where you really don't know what's going on. In fact, I would argue that it's the same reason that, that BioShock is fun. And you might be saying, why is that? Well, the gunplay isn't necessarily the strongest aspect of the game, but the exploration and the mystery is very good, and also very tense. As you can see, it's kind of startling to engage in a battle with robots. They tend to be able to find you fairly easily once you start shooting at them, or trying to kill any of them. So it creates a very tense setting for you to be exploring, because you don't want to be getting spotted by these robots, because you really don't want to engage in combat with them if at all possible, because you don't have a lot of ammunition, you don't have quite the skills to take care of all of these sort of robots that you're going to be running into. And that is what makes it great. That and the fact that they don't really tell you anything about the game, because since you don't know anything that's going on, it's nice because you really are compelled to sort of learn what is going on. I find myself driven to try and beat this game because I want to know exactly what happened and why it is that there are robots chasing me, what this device does, why there is nobody else around except... Oh my goodness! Sweet Jesus. Oh god. Okay, he's spotted us. Not ideal. Okay, we're gonna aim down sights here. Oh, he's moved. Okay, there we go. 1 hit, and not 2 hits. 3 hits. Nope. Okay, I'm dreadful. Oh my. Oh, geez. Okay, I'm out of ammo. That's a problem. Alright, and there we are, dead again. Whew. See what I mean? Tense. Didn't even see those robots. I've died 2 times so far. I've managed to stay alive for just barely any time whatsoever. You'll notice that there's little handy survival guide tips that kind of help you out. Goodness, alright. So we're not going to head that way this time. We're going to head this way, into the woods. And we're going to see if we can maybe not get killed quite so quickly. That is a window, not a door. Looking for a door, looking for a door. So the loot system for buildings is kind of weird. You find doors, and you click on them, and that is what you find, I suppose. Now, there are a variety of guns in the game, as is indicative of the ammos you can find. However, I have never actually found any guns in this game. The only thing I've ever found, really from looting, is an axe. That is, quite handy. Definitely gets you out of trouble in certain situations. If you usually about 2 hits with the axe will get it done for you. Alright, we're going to creep over in here. Oh, goodness, there are like 3 of them there. This is bad. We are going to run over here. As you can see, there's a balloon up there in the sky. Never ideal. Now, you'll notice this smoke here. This is black smoke. This is a fire. I don't actually have any matches or anything really usable to be lit, so I can't use the fire. Fires are typically used for cooking up some game, wild animals. You can, of course, shoot those rabbits. I don't know if you happen to see that one sprint by my screen. You can cook up rabbits. It's quite nice to do so. The thing about fires is they are detectable from a pretty far range, so you have to be careful. Make sure you don't stick around the fire for too long. Right now, currently I am running, so that is why my visibility is a little bit higher than it usually is. As you can see there, you just use the shift key, easy to run. It controls pretty nicely. I did have to raise mouse sensitivity a little bit because from the outset it was a little bit, I felt that it was a little bit difficult to move my mouse cursor around and such. You'll notice the gun models, not particularly great. Even on the higher settings, not necessarily the best. But it does, still not an ugly game, I would say. But that's not really what we talk about here. We don't talk about the prettiness of a game. We love games for their gameplay, not their graphics. Which, this game does have good gameplay. Obviously. So, I've rambled on for a while now, and I've mostly shown you how to die, and I've shown you a little bit of how to pick things up. I haven't been able to find any pieces of the device, which is not ideal, but alright. You'll notice the night cycle, which the night cycle is, the day and night cycle is one of 2 things. It's terrifying and fantastic. The fantastic part is it's dark, so you're much more difficult to see. Much more difficult to see. And that is great, but vice versa, robots are much more harder to see. Robots are much more difficult to see, and as such, you die more frequently if you're dreadful at video games. So, there's that. Let me move back into what I was originally talking about, though. The gameplay. There isn't necessarily a lot to do, but this is an open world game. A game about exploring and really learning about this world that you are in. And that is the bread and butter of this game, because it gives you almost no detail about what you are doing, why you're doing it, other than to clearly make it back home to your caring butler, who is very concerned about your well-being, and as such, you really just feel very alone. It's quite sad, honestly. So, this is a game that is going to interest you if you are into the exploration and into Minor horror. Alright, we're going to see if we can take this guy out. We are going to fucking just surprise the shit out of him. Alright, here we go. Now, like any great FPS, you do have the lean. Oh my, there's two of them. Alright, here we go. Boom. Oh my goodness. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, we've shot him. Alright, reload. The reload animation is absolutely dreadful in this game. Oh, there he is. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay, killed him. Perfect. So, this actually gives me an opportunity to show you looting robots, which it really does not benefit you in any way to kill robots. Okay, so I found some deer meat, which is good. I can use that as food, raise my vitality, but the guns they have, always broken. They do sometimes have ammunition on them, but it's most of the time shotgun ammo, which I don't have a shotgun. I have never found a shotgun. So really, killing robots should be a sort of last-ditch effort. You're in a tough spot and you really have to kill them, because there's not much of an advantage to killing them. They tend to just fucking rail ya, really. Alright. You'll notice the water here. Each island is divided by a boat ride. So that's where the only real load screen comes in the actual game. So sitting through that initial generation of the islands isn't too bad, because the load screen for the boat ride is pretty short and brief, which isn't so bad. Let's see. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump into another game that I have saved. Game options here. Not game options. That's not what I want. Quit to main menu here. Yes. It doesn't even matter. We're going to play a game. I'm going to show you one of my first saves that I've actually done pretty well job of surviving for the most part. I have a fair bit of things. Again, you can distract robots with noise. It's very, very good idea, I assure you. So in this game, I have moved to a different island. I'm actually currently in the boat, so I'll walk off the boat here. And I have a plethora of devices. I have actually two pieces of the device. I have some matches, I have plenty of food, I have an axe, which I will gladly demonstrate some melee combat for you. I have tons of food, and I also have this. This is the scanner. Now the scanner is equipped to 6, so what you can do with the scanner is, when you are within range, you can click it to turn it on, and it's blinking right now because I'm not quite in range of anything, but if I get close enough to a piece of the device, it will start to react, and it will lead me to where the device is. Now that's great, because the device can be fairly difficult to find. It's also bad because, robots. Now you'll notice that I clicked again, and it turned it off, because that little bar is not there. Let's equip this weapon here. Alright, things are running nicely now. Let's take this alcohol, I suppose. And let's keep running this way. On your map up at the top, you'll notice a couple of indicators. Now the circle is your little henge stone, so to speak, where you drop the pieces of the device off and are very capable of saving. The other little spots that you might have seen... Oh, he's spotted me. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna just creep away and hope for the best. The other spots on the map that you might have seen earlier are spots where you can take boats. Now, there are, from my understanding, 4 boats on the island, and each boat allows you to go a different direction. So you can either go north, south, east, or west, according to whatever boat you take, and then that boat will take you back to the center island. Alright, so here's our henge stone. We're going to try to drop these 2 pieces off and see what other device pieces might be lying around. There's, of course, a robot over there. Do I have any? I don't have any ammo for that. I have my axe, which... at first, when using the axe, I was a little angry at the swing speed of it. It's pretty slow. And then I thought to myself, it actually makes a ton of sense, given the scenario. You are a British gentleman with absolutely no idea how to use weapons. And in fact, the narrator actually comments on that. When you find a weapon, he says, "Oh my, sir, violence, it should be left to the professionals." And it makes a lot of sense why it is fairly difficult to kill things in this game, I think. Because if you were just a badass, and you were just, fucking tomahawking people in the face, and just gunning down droves of robots, it would be a very different game. This game is tense and scary, and killing robots should be a last resort. You are not... You're more MacGyver than you are Rambo. That's a good analogy. You are more... Well, you're not really MacGyver either, because you're not really inventing things, which is one weakness of the game. I do wish there was some kind of crafting system. Some way to make weapons or build traps specifically. Oh god. Okay. So the balloon has spotted us, which is pretty lame. I did not realize he would be able to spot us from our clear hiding spot in the brush there. Oh god, these robots, they are all over the place. We're gonna run. Vitality is low, which is bad, because if your vitality drops too low, you start to lose health. Obviously, because, vitality is representative of you eating things. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're gonna crouch. Alright. I think we've gotten away from them. Hopefully. Oh, this is a bad way. Okay. But... any pieces of the device? No, unfortunately not. Get our pistol out just in case. Quite visible here. I'm going to go ahead and eat something, because if I don't, I'm probably going to die. Cooked food does restore more vitality. Most things that I've noticed restore pretty much all of your vitality just from eating things. This game is not too... Oh, God! Oh, God! Okay, we're dying. Boom. Oh, I missed that second shot. Oh, I missed the third shot, and boom. Alright, you're dead. Running. We're sprinting. Now, I know there's a guy behind me. I've lost a little bit of health. You'll notice that my vitality is high, so I'm definitely gaining a lot of health. Okay, there are 3 of them over there. We're going to hide behind these rocks. Luckily, I have not gotten any bleed effect yet, so that is good. Alright, here we go. Boom. 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 Maybe. Boom. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Okay, right. Hide behind the rock. Hopefully to get some... Oh, my. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Alright, we're going to run. We're going to run for... Okay, we're dead. We're dead. So in this particular attempt, I've done 4 times, but oh god, I've shot 27 times. I've only slain 10 robots. Whew, that is rough. Ugh, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. So, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and conclude on this game, I think, because you're probably real tired of seeing me die so much. If you enjoy a bit of horror, you enjoy a good mystery, you enjoy a very expansive yet grey and rainy British countryside to explore, then sir, you are being hunted, or for the ladies, madam, you are being hunted. I recommend it highly. The game is $19.99 on Steam, and it's quite good. Without further ado, I bid you adieu.